What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Boozer here. Thanks for stopping by. Hopefully, you guys having a good Monday so far. Sorry for the late video today. I am a little bit under the weather, so I took a little bit of a longer rest. We are back here. We're going to be doing our fusion prep, as well as just a small look ahead. We do have a little bit of Plarium announcements as well, so that'll be covered in this video. I'm going to package it all nicely in a video for you guys here, so stick around with me. First things first, we're going to talk about the Titan event. We do have a bunch of these rewards. You guys can kind of see here that I've saved up the 1, 3, and 5 star, and that will be going towards CBC points. So I'm going to collect those when CBC is active. It is a personal reward CBC that's coming in 15 hours. And we're going to get some nice juicy points for those souls. So once again, guys, wait, Shadow Legends. Make sure you guys wait to collect some of your big rewards. You never know when events are going to happen, so you can get some additional value from them. Something else that I've been saving for a little while has been the Ezio Chase. You can kind of see here, I've saved up all of these split souls, hoping for a soul chase. But it looks like there's going to be no soul chase happening, and I will be collecting this during CBC. I don't believe the split souls get any points for CBC. I'm actually very certain they don't. Only the perfect ones, so I only get points for Cassandra. But this is something that you guys should practice. Practice saving these rewards in these pop-up screens. Now, the way you can kind of stop yourself from collecting all of this, because it automatically happens, is I'm on PC right now. You just click the letter R, and it's going to send you right to the shop, and then you can do some other things. And as long as you click R and get out of that splash screen, you won't collect the rewards. So here I'm just going to jump to another screen, for example, and refresh, and then pop back out, and I'll be back in the Bastion. And then all those rewards would still be there. So that's something you guys can practice on your own time. But this time we didn't get lucky for additional points there for Ezio Chase. Now, what's happening in the game right now, we do have the Noldua fragment fusion happening right now. Make sure you guys check out the showcase videos on her. We did cover her and her partner pretty extensively in 2 different videos. Now, we're going to talk about the fusion plan and the schedule for her if you guys really want to get her. Personally speaking, I think there's 2 camps of people that are interested or should probably go for her. First, if you're an endgame player, these fragment fusions are good to collect just to get you some additional points for, champion chase or for CBC pulls or faction guardians. She's an okay champion. I wouldn't say she's insane. I've been hearing some people tell me that she's insane. I don't think so. I think her A1's very good. A 2-turn enfeeble to lock out or shut down one champion is very good. Her strip and decreased defense, it's solid, but Rian from the same faction, she's free from Doom Tower, and she's an epic. She does a strip and weaken, which is very similar. And then she has a team revive, which is great. Team revive is great, especially for faction wars and stuff like that. But this faction actually has quite a few revivers, so you can kind of get away with not requiring her. Although she has probably the best revive in the group. Blind Seer has a really good one too, but I think Noldula's kit is overall better than Blind Seer. But you have Kaden, you have Rion, you have Fang Cleric. You can get by with just those epics if you just really want to, sweat it out. But she's, going to be the best out of the revivers, I think, overall. I think her partner bonus is a little bit blown over. She doesn't really need Solinar, and Solinar doesn't really need her, to be honest. Especially at the end game level, you can build Solinar with 100% crit rate and still have great stats. So you don't necessarily need to put Noldua on the same team to take advantage of Solinar. So I think the one camp is that you're an endgame player, and then you can use her in very specific or limited roles. Or if you're an early game player, she'll be great because she's a team reviver that offers a strip, decreased defense, and a weaken. It's really, really good. She's really good for any kind of early game carry. She has decent base stats. Unfortunately, she doesn't have self-healing or anything like that, which would make her a crazy carry, but she's actually very decent. You can use her in arena as a strip champion, decreased defense champion. You can use her as a reviver, just normal dungeon carries and stuff like that. You can even use her in clan boss just for weekend and decreased defense. So she's very decent for an early or mid game player to get her. The problem is trying to get her as an early or mid game player. So we're gonna try to do that here with this fusion schedule plan and try to help you guys out the best I can. All right, so here is the fusion schedule plan. So first thing we want to take a look at is the total fragments available. So we look here, so total fragments available 130. We got 20 from the leaderboards. We scratched that off because we can't guarantee ourselves getting those 20 fragments. So that means we have 110 available, which means since we need 100, we can only skip 10. So that's something to keep in mind, guys, as we go through this schedule. So first off, we do start with the Ice Golem tournament on day 1. It is lining up with a Dungeon Diver, which is very nice. Obviously, you can double dip there. Now, any of these tournaments, Spider, Ice Golem, Dragon, Fire Knight, doing stage 20 is the most efficient in terms of energy per point. So if you're strictly looking for energy conservation, energy efficiency, you're going to do stage 20. Now, if you can't do stage 20, that's okay. Doing stage 16 is also okay as well. Now, we're going to zoom out a little bit here and just take a look at the summon events here, because those are usually the biggest bottlenecks for any kind of fusion. So first up, we do have a champion chase, a single champion chase here to start off the first week. And then we see that we don't have a second summoning event except for this Hero's Path. And coincidentally, this Hero's Path lands on a summoning weekend. So we can very, very comfortably assume that this is going to be a summoning event. And with a summon event, this is going to be the Summon Rush format very, very often. I would say, I think it's always been the Summon Rush format. So basically it's going to give you points based on the quality of the shard, not the quality of the pull. So we can very comfortably say that this Hero's Path will be involving some kind of summoning. And then we have this champion chase here. 15 fragments from here. It's most likely going to be split up 5 and 10. Now the 5 is probably going to be, I think they've done it in the past where the 5 has been relatively cheap. And then the 10 has been relatively expensive. I would say somewhere around 1,500 for the 5 and maybe about 3,500 for the 10 on top for the full 15. So 3,500 for the full 15. Now what that breaks down to is 3,500 points. You know, that's like 10 Broadmaw fusions. Broadmaws are great. If you guys have Broadmaws saved up, 350 points each Broadmaw, that's great. Legendaries are worth 500 points. So Broadmaws are 2/3 of that. That's great. Just always save up those Broadmaw fusions for this champion chase style event. Also, what's happening is that it is most likely going to be 2x voids, I believe, with the rotation. So 2x voids going to be happening here. Now, void shards on average, I think it's about 102 points each on average. So that's kind of what you can expect. So if 15 fragments is 3,500 points, you're going to be, pulling 35 void shards on average, which could look attractive, right? Okay, so let's zoom back in a little bit for the day 1. So day 1, you got Ice Golem, Gear Hunters. I think personally speaking, I'm probably spending my daily energy, advanced quest energy into the Ice Golem on day 1, obviously. And then we have personal reward CVC. So we have personal reward CVC here. So PCVC. Yeah, it's so what you could technically do is basically, go into your Ice Golem farming during the Gear Hunters during PR CVC. That kind of makes sense for additional points. You kind of triple dipping the Ice Golem tournament, the Gear Hunters, and personal reward CVC points. Really depends what your overall objective is. Like if you're in a super sweaty clan, doing Ice Golem is kind of slow. It could be kind of slow, so it's not really the best for personal reward CVC. So it's really a time management thing, but totally fine. You also get some gear, you get some silver and stuff from personal reward CVC, so you can use it during personal reward CVC as well. We do have a gear enhancement event as well during personal reward CVC, which is great because you can level up gear. Gear gives you quite a bit of points for personal reward CVC, so you can get some points there. Each one of these gear enhancement events, 15 to 20 million, guys. It's just something that you kind of need to prep yourselves up for before you go into fusion. You need to start with at least a little bit of silver. I'm not saying that you need to have 60 million silver to start the fusion, but you need to have a little bit to start, because you'll accumulate silver as you play, as you actively play. And then each one of these gear enhancement events will not be as bad, right? So let's talk about the Ice Golem tournament here. It's going to be about 2,200 points to finish off this Ice Golem tournament if you're doing stage 20. Same with the Spider tournament, same with the Fire Knight, same with the Dragon. These Gear Hunter events, typically around 5,500 total energy to finish them with hard 10 farming, about 5,000 if you're just doing stage 20. So you can kind of see here that 2,200 goes into Ice Golem. You still have to make up the difference to finish off the Gear Hunters. If you want to maximize, again, energy for points, doing stage 3 of the event dungeon gives you more points than doing stage 20. So if you just want to maximize points from energy, doing stage 3, specifically in the event dungeon only, guys, make sure you guys know that stage 3 of the event dungeon will give you slightly more points. I think it's like 15% or 20% more Don't have the exact math on me, but you can do that to save energy to finish off the gear hunters. Now, you're not going to get any gear or anything like that from stage 3. That's going to be useful, but you're going to get some silver. You're going to get some good points. So that could be a strategy as well. Since we're on the topic of the gear hunters here, I want to bring the attention here that we actually only have 1 gear hunters in this schedule, which leads me to believe that we can comfortably say that this hero's path is probably going to be gear hunters. So based on our reasoning, we can logically say it can be summon rush, and we can logically say that it's going to be gear hunters. It's probably going to be summon rush plus gear hunters for this hero's path. Now, the big thing that's happening in this hero's path is that there's a oversized chunk of fragments in here. It's 25. And keep in mind that we can only skip 10 throughout this entire fusion. So do we take the chance of skipping 10 from this hero's path, or do we skip 10 in other areas of the fusion schedule? It's honestly up to you and what kind of resources you have or have not. All right. So if you have really, if you have void shards to pull and you have fragments that you can use to alleviate some of the point requirement for a champion chase, getting the 15 easily in the champion chase might just be like good insurance. Might be good insurance. Honestly, if it's 2x voids, that's probably what I would do personally. Pulling some void shards, getting some broad maw pieces, fusing the broad maws, maybe remnant summons. We just had, our new rotation of Cintranos, getting some remnant summons in there. So that's going to help you guys out with the champion chase points. Getting the full 15, I think is nice insurance because we have no idea what's going to be in this hero's path. My thinking is that most likely it's probably going to be Noldua's 5-star soul, which I personally think is a skippable soul. Yes, she requires accuracy without Solinar, but right now there's no any kind of news for Solinar, and I don't think there will be. I'm not sure how people think that Solinar will be a guarantee. I really, really doubt it. So personally speaking, I think it's going to be fragments, 25 fragments, and Noldua's 5-star soul, which means it is, pretty skippable, right? Parts of it is skippable. You can definitely just go for the hero's path fragments here and then just call it a day and then skip her soul. So personally speaking, I would, go for the champion chase since it's kind of easier to complete for most people. Get the full 15 and then just, carry on. Wait till the hero's path opens on this Friday and then take a look at what it has. My guess, like I said, 5-star soul for Noldua with 25 fragments. So two different branching paths. Maybe there's going to be a path for relics or something like that if you're interested in that, if you want to whale out. But Boozor, we have an Assassin's Creed collab happening. There's a bunch of champions that didn't get their guarantees yet. Well, there's still lots of time left, guys. Don't worry. We're going to get those guarantees for those Assassin's Creed collab champions. So it's not necessary that they have to show up here in this hero's path. I definitely think they will be coming shortly after Noldua. And I believe there's 3 of them left. Balak, Basim, and Edward. So 3 of them left. So it's going to be jam-packed. It's going to be jam-packed. So if we can conserve resources, conserve our shards and all that, we're going to be, tempted to use them pretty soon. Anyways, let's finish this breakdown here. So we have the classic arena. These are easy points, guys. Make sure you guys do that. Get into gold arena. Just, just finish those up really easy. And we have the standard 2 training events here as well. Now, the big curveball here is if they throw something really juicy in the hero's path, which means you would have completed the champion chase, and then you would have completed all of the events up until the hero's path. You still have 10 fragments to skip, so it's not going to be high value skip. You could skip maybe perhaps, the champion training, maybe the second half of it, and then maybe skip like an artifact enhancement. But that's only if you are able to fully complete the hero's path. And it has to be something pretty juicy, and it just doesn't really make too much sense that it is something super, super juicy like Solinar himself. If they put Solinar in here, I would be shocked. I would be shocked if they put Solinar in here, to be honest. Solinar would be more likely to show up as a winner-take-all in this champion chase. Although I think that is very unlikely as well, because he's a brand new champion. There's no reason to put him as a first overall. But, it is Valentine's Day weekend, so maybe they do something crazy like that. But I really don't think so. I think he's just going to be, one of those progressive gotcha, champions that people just chase, right? Like he's good enough. He's good enough by himself. He doesn't need the fusion. And I think people would just chase him. So there's no reason for them to give him away so quickly and easily to like their biggest whales. So the best thing about this whole fusion actually is that there's only one basically guaranteed gear hunters. And then we have a optional Gear Hunter / Summon Rush for the Hero's Path, which means we probably will be spending less energy than usual throughout the next 2 weeks if you want to go for this fusion, which means we could have more energy going into this Hero's Path, which means, perhaps we could be spending way less shards. So if you have excess energy or have a lot of energy banked up for this Hero's Path, spend the energy during the Hero's Path. We do have a Dragon Tournament. Dragon Tournament is going to be 3x speed, I believe, or 3x or 2x speed. Let me just double check here. It is going to be, 2x speed. I just double checked. 2x speed during this Dragon Tournament. And then you can just farm Dragon Tournament during this Hero's Path. You're not going to get crazy points or anything like that. It's going to be, most of the points will come from shards, but it's going to help. It's going to help bring down the shard count a lot, so you don't have to spend as many shards during this Noldua Fusion, right? Now, what's it going to cost? So if you're going to leave yourself open to requiring the 25 fusion fragments at the end for this Hero's Path, what's it going to cost? Personally speaking, it's probably going to cost you somewhere around 12 Sacred Shards. That's probably going to be the going rate. Maybe more. But I think 12 Sacred Shards is probably going to be the going cost. So I think you definitely don't want to leave yourself open to that. Definitely have some energy, ready. And you definitely at least want to go for the first stage of the champion chase. So at least alleviate some of those, kind of requirements there. And you don't want to back yourself into a corner where you must get off 25 of this, because it's not going to be cheap. So I would highly suggest probably going for the champion chase. Maybe go all the way and then try to complete everything else. It's not going to be a huge energy spend in terms of just regular fusion, since we only have one gear hunter and then one gear hunter at the end, which can be alleviated by shards. At the same time, if you don't have a lot of shards, it can be alleviated by energy. So I like it. I don't mind this fusion schedule calendar. I think it's relatively reasonable. Obviously, the prices for things have gone up over the years, but I think overall it's quite reasonable. Now, I do have some progressive news here for this personal reward CVC that's coming up tomorrow. I will be streaming personal reward CVC, so if you guys are around, I'll be popping on a couple hours afterwards, and then we'll have some chats there. I'm gonna put it up on screen right now. We do have some progressive boosts happening. So first we have Basim here. Basim, he's a great champion. He has AoE damage. He can hit pretty hard. I would say he's kind of, less exciting than the other ones. For example, Bayek, Edward, they're more exciting than Basim. Venalicia here, Venalicia Thrall Mother. She's actually a really solid Night Rev champion here. Just kind of like a support carry. Has a revive and all that. And he also brings a block buff, decreased defense. Now this is really strong if you need her for like Hydra and stuff. So she's a decent champion. After that, we do have Glacea Soul Guide from the Sacred Order. She was recently buffed, and she's actually really good. She's really good now, but not bustedly good, but she's solidly good. All right here. Yeah, she has block debuffs, and then she has a strip. Well, actually, it's a steal, but yeah, it's basically a strip and weaken, steal and weaken. Very, very nice. And then she has this passive, which is really good. So her skills can't be put on cooldown. She freezes enemies that tries to put her on cooldown. Also has a chance to deny the cooldown, and then she gets the instant turn. So basically, when she gets locked out, she comes in, steals all the buffs, weakens everybody, or you freeze everybody. So it's actually pretty cool. Cool champ, nice buff on her. And then after that, we have the king of the fusions. Here we got the Nutman, the Newt Man. But yeah, he's basically my vote for best fusion of all time. Still very, very good. All areas of the game except for really arena. Got the triple hit, 30% of the max HP gone in one hit against bosses. Still extremely, extremely strong. All accounts should have at least one of this guy. The A1, very good against Hard Fire Knight as well. So he's going to be there as well for the non-voids on day one. What else here? We got Mad Hatter. Mad Hatter, very good fusion as well. Top fusion. Night Revs, very good for tightest teams. He's just a good general carry as well. We got the Hex, Weaken, and then it's got the extensions here, turn meter boost. Got fears and heals. Yeah, he's a cool guy, cool fusion. Gonna be up for grabs as well on day one. As for the Void Champions, this is during CVC, right? So there's no boost or anything like that. So as for the Void Champions, we have Gaspard from the Undead, I believe, from the Undead. I play tested this guy. This guy is super fun to play with. Very crippling kit, because when look at this passive, guys. Whenever an enemy is revived, instantly activates this "You Stand Accused," which is this one, and it basically ignores a bunch of stuff, ignores target's defense, ignore defense as well. And then if it kills somebody, it just block revive. So if you revive your guy, he just lands this single target nuke on them when they get revived, and it's a chance to basically block revive them. Now the way I describe this guy is that this guy is a great champion if you're winning. He's like a win more champion. So if you're winning already, he just puts his boot on your throat and make sure you're done. Like make sure your enemy's done. But he doesn't have any way to survive, so you have to get him in a winning position. And then he just, lays down the hammer on everybody. But he's a great champion, very high threat champion, very cool champion. And then after that, we have probably the best Ogren tribe guy, Klazag, Keyhulk. He's probably the best. I mean, he's like Lydia jacked up, but Lydia still has some use. That's the thing. Lydia still may be better than him in some uses. He's got an A1 Fear, great against bosses, and this is basically his role, right? And he's got an A2, just insane ability here. Double hit, AoE, decrease defense, weaken, and then decrease accuracy, decrease resistance. Insane ability on a 3-turn cooldown. And then this ability is insane too. Counterattack, unkillable on everybody, taunt on himself. And if it's against a boss, it's freaking protected. It's insane. And then he deals passive damage here, similar to kind of like how Hex works, just a little bit of passive damage. But yeah, this guy's kit's bonkers. Bonkers. And then lastly, for day one, we have Valkonen from the Undead Hordes. Now, Valkonen was offered as a guaranteed champion at one point for guaranteed voids. I said no to this. I don't regret it at all. I don't think he has great use. Not saying that he has no use, but I'm not saying he has great use. He does have big speed in all battles. He's a big speed in arena battles, and he mostly like an arena champion, but I've seen him used in some Hydra for a damage dealer. But it's kind of interesting kit where he sacrifices one of your teammates. So you target an ally, he sacrifices your teammate, and then he unlocks his secret skill, which is, pretty strong, right? Ignores block damage, unkillable, shield, ally protection, block revive as well. So it is a pretty strong ability, but you require some setup for him. I definitely would not recommend going for him or wanting to go for him. All right. So, and then we have day two, we have Bambus 4-leaf, freshly rebalanced, guys. Freshly rebalanced Bambus 4-leaf. Biggest thing about him, very good. Decreased speed, chance for decreased AoE speed, which is very nice. And then this ability got changed from a 4-turn down to a 3-turn when fully booked. And it's going to be a buff duration ability. Very, very good. It's going to see him get way more play, and we've already seen it with some of these playtest videos of him. He also brings increased attack, increased accuracy as well on a 3-turn cooldown. Very neat ability. So overall, good buff, 110 base speed. Wow, very, very fast panda. But yeah, he's not too bad. Not too bad nowadays. After that, from the Barbarians, we got Dune Herald Zaharis. Mr. Zaharis here. He's actually a pretty cool champ. He's pretty fast base speed, 20% speed in all battles as well. The big thing about him is that you probably want him to come in, steal a bunch of stuff from your enemies. So make him go fast, steal a bunch of stuff, and then buff spread to your whole team. And then he plays block buffs, block actives on that one champion. So you kind of shut down that one champion. He also has intercept, block debuff, increased speed. Unfortunately, no turn meter boost for your team, which would have been nice. And he also places increased accuracy on your entire team. He's a cool-ish champion. It would have been nice to see him have a turn meter boost maybe here, so that he can be like a speed booster. But you kind of want him to come in, really disrupt one champion, and then the buff spreads will obviously give your team a huge boost. But yeah, Dune Herald Zaharis up for grabs. And then we do have from the high elves, we have Wallmaster Otherion. Very good champion. He's got the AoE block buffs, enemy max HP hit, decreased attack as well. On a 3-turn cooldown, the multipliers are kind of low, so you need really good gear to get the max hit on him. But this ability does a lot. So if you have great gear, he has a great hitting ability that does a lot. He self buffs. He can self preserve himself as well. And then he has turn meter fill on his A1. Solo Spider can pitch in damage for Hydra as well as block buffs. So generally a very good champion. After that, we have Grand Oak Podrick from the Sylvan Watchers. Very good champion. Great dungeon speed aura. Can be useful for Hard Fire Knight, for example. He is a team ally attack, which is great. Right here, full team ally attack. He does have a turn meter boost as well with the increased speed. These are all great for Fire Knight. And this A1 doesn't get enough love, but a 2-turn reduction on a champion with a really critical skill could be crazy, absolutely crazy. And this passive, insane as well. Just free buffs, and they're gonna coordinate with the champion that they're landing on. So really, really strong champion here. Great champ, 112 base speed as well. And sticking with the Sylvan Watchers, we got Glaciate also up for grabs on day 2. Great speed in all battles here, 19%, 112 base speed, just crazy speed. Got an A1 chance to freeze, conditional, irresistible freeze ability. A2, 4-turn cooldown, increased attack, Veil, Terminator boost. Very nice. 2 buffs with the Terminator boost can be useful for Chimera, Hydra. Can even be useful for like Arena and stuff. And then he has a team revive with increased accuracy, increased defense. You can put these increased accuracy, increased defense even without reviving, which is very good. And then it has a extra turn as well if nobody was revived. So yeah, it's great. It's great flexibility. And then his passive is just a passive damage boost as well. So it's really, really good. He's a good damage enabler. And I think his kit's very solid. Very solid, carry throughout this entire game. So he's going to be up for grabs for day 2. And then for the Void champions here, we have some interesting ones. The big one here is going to be Pontiff. Pontiff from the, Night Revs. So he's the boss in the event dungeon here. I did do a showcase on him. I'll attach a link in the description below. Personally speaking, he's a great champ. He's a great champ. Terminator booster, 110 base speed, 24 speed in all battles. That's very, very good for all battles as well. So he's going to be good for like siege and stuff. He's got an A1 block active. Very, very nasty. This ability is good. It's on a 3-turn cooldown. Full enemy strip with the ensnare. We'll ignore block debuffs if they have this condition under 3 or more buffs. Also decrease Terminator by 25%, which is big. That's big. Or 40%. So it's big, 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 big. Terminator pushbacks. Require accuracy, of course, for all this stuff. This ability is really good. 4-turn cooldown, increased accuracy, intercept on everybody with a big Terminator fail, 25% and an extra turn. So you go increase accuracy on himself, Terminator boost, and then you go right into this. So you strip everybody, ensnare everybody, push back their Terminator a bit more. And he has pretty cool passive here that just passively removes buffs. So he has 50% chance of decreasing the duration of all buffs whenever they occur. Whenever this stuff occurs, whenever they receive a buff, heals, or turn meter fails, which this happens all the time. So you're going to be passively reducing the duration of all their buffs, which is insane. Allies also receive 25% less damage from enemies under block damage, unkillable veil, perfect veil, stone skin buffs. So if the enemy goes first, for example, your whole team takes less damage, basically from stone skin, right? Stone skin nukers, for example. Yeah, really good champ. Probably going to be used as like, similar role to like Fabian and stuff. Or you can use him like as an arbiter, maybe like that role. But yeah, it's something like that. He's a turn meter booster. After that, we have from the Ogren tribes, Togrand the Conjoined. Now, this guy, I think he got buffed, 110 base speed. He's got speed in all battles here. He's got an A1 chance to buff spread, 100% chance of taking a random buff from each ally and placing it on all allies. Okay. And then he's got an A2 here. Team heal, increased speed, continuous heal with block debuffs on a 3-turn cooldown. There's a lot of stuff going on here. It's a high value ability. Unfortunately, no turn meter boost, but very high value ability. He does get increased speed for everybody as well. His A3 is going to be a full team cleanse with the turn meter boost. There we go. An additional 2% for each debuff removed. So 3-turn cooldown as well. And then he places increased accuracy on everybody. Now sometimes it's kind of weird, right? Because like the remove debuff, the cleanse, is very situational, and to use it, to kind of waste it just for the turn meter boost and increase accuracy, it doesn't feel right. So I much prefer like a different configuration for his skills, but he has all the skills in his kit, which is great. But I much prefer like the cleanse ability to be paired up with something else instead of the turn meter boost, for example. But you can definitely use him as a kind of like high resistance. That could work too. High resistance, cleanse everybody, give the turn meter boost, increase accuracy, and then your team takes over. It would have been nice to maybe get him to see an extra turn. That would have been kind of maybe too crazy, I guess, because then you get turn meter boost, extra turn, and then you go into increased speed and all this stuff. That would be nuts. His passive here, some conditional damage based on your HP. Some conditional HP increasing every time you use this champion uses an active skill. And then what is it? Increases each ally's max HP every time they use an active skill. So it's, yeah, you're just juicing up your team a little bit. Yeah, definitely better for like prolonged fights and all that stuff. But he's an interesting champion. Would have been interesting to maybe see it with like a revive or something. But he's still very good for Ogren Tribes faction. And then lastly, for the Void champions on day 2, we have, oh, I think it's a demon spawn. Yeah, Chalco the Blind. Chalco the Blind, very fun champion. He's actually very strong in Hydra because his passive makes him immune to fear. So when he gets feared, he's going to be doing his A2 over and over again. And his A2 is super, super strong, decreased defense, and then he's going to spread all the debuffs and stuff. And then he has increased accuracy, decreased speed, big hit A3, and then a pretty good hit A1 as well. So this guy can dish out some decent damage. He's probably can be useful in arena as well, obviously with the block passive skills and stuff. But you know, you need accuracy to land all this stuff. He does bring increased accuracy on himself, but you know, it's not a guarantee. But he could be a little bit of problems. But I don't see how this guy is like that much better than like Carnage, or if he is even better. Carnage brings the speed in arena battles as well as just being a mythical. But yeah, Choco is very strong in Hydra as well. Good champ overall. Anyways, guys, that's gonna be it for the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. A little bit of a longer one. I basically condensed 2 videos into one. Like I said, I apologize my voice, and I am coming down with a little bit of an illness, so I'm not at my best, but just want to make sure you guys get the info. Better late than never. As for the Fusion, one quick recap. Like I said, I'm probably going to go and finish the 15 fragments in the champion chase, and then we will see what the hero's path will have. If the hero's path has something that is unskippable, especially for an in-game player, like it's something so juicy. Let's say it's Solinar, and it's unskippable, then we'll basically skip like 10 fragments somewhere else. So it's all good. But I like having the extra insurance of the champion chase, since champion chase is generally easier to finish. And if the hero's path is, for example, Noldua's 5-star soul, and then fragments only and relic materials, then it's probably can be skippable. So you're going to skip 10 fragments from the hero's path and just get 15 and call it a day. Now that's going to lighten up, you know, your shard spending, your energy spending, and all that. So hopefully that sets you guys up better for what's going to happen, you know, in the last week of February and into March. Anyways, guys, that's going to be it for the video. Let me know in the comments below what you guys are planning to do. Hopefully you guys have a great day. Like I said, I will be streaming Personal Reward CBC tomorrow. A couple hours when it starts. That's usually my thing, since it starts way too early for me. But yeah, let me know in the comments below what you guys think. Thanks for watching till the end. Appreciate your support, and I'll see you guys in the next one.